Guten Tag, I think. Yes? We're live? Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a Weebo Live show. I haven't done one of these in forever, but we are here today to celebrate my 6th YouTube anniversary on this platform. So, 6 years ago today, I created the Weebo Jones channel. Don't ask me why. I named it what I did. It's just, it was spur of a moment, impulse thing. 6 years ago, this channel was created, and from that point onwards, I have been creating content. Now, I will say this. The first video on this channel I don't think was posted until much later than that, after the fact. I believe the very first video on this channel was not produced, posted, uploaded to the channel until, and now I'm checking, I didn't have it pulled up, and I don't have it in the queue to review for tonight's live stream, because that's what we're doing, is we're doing a Weebo nostalgia stream. And I had such plans for you people. Alright, I was in the middle of editing a video and it was going to be great, but unfortunately, the graphics card within my computer is not powerful enough to handle some of the edits that I was demanding of it, and so as a result, Premiere Pro has deemed no, that this is unacceptable. Yeah, so 6 years ago today, I created this channel. It wasn't until May 10th that I posted the very first video to this channel, but we're not going to watch it because the anti-graduation speech, as it is so called, is riddled with copyrighted music, unfortunately. So we're not going to watch that one. We're going to watch the second video that I posted to this channel about 8 days after the first video. And it is called A C in Art Class. And you can't see it because I did not prep very well, apparently. I was too preoccupied on the fancy cinematography that didn't end up panning out, so unfortunately we don't get that. But what we do get is we do get cringy Weebo shenanigans from the youth. And the early Weebo content is not nearly as political as we are used to today. They're kind of like 4 to 6 minute little rants about life and such and things. All very fun stuff. I'm kind of excited to go back into the backlog, deep into the annals of Weebo history, to review some of these things, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for a few more people to filter on in to enjoy some of this cringy material, because oh boy, some of it is rather cringy, before we get started. So I want to say thank you the next 6 minutes, my oldest friend on this platform, for being here, Professor Platypus, Lion Patriot, as always, The Price is Right review, long time no see, indeed. Let's see, your boy Pat is here as well. Oh, you know what? I missed a golden opportunity to name it the Weeboversary. I'm changing that now. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Happy Weeboversary. I didn't even think of that. That's good. I'm stealing that idea. It's going in the title. There we go. Changed it. Yeah, I know. Guess I should have been a little bit more on top of it, but we had a snowstorm today. I was outside shoveling for a good long while attempting to come up with how I was going to do the cinematography for this stream, and like I said, it didn't work out. So unfortunately, we had to scrap that idea and carry on with the nostalgia stream, which I was already planning to do. I had a really good idea for it, and now I can't do it, and I'm so pissed because I wasted 2 hours. Anyway, sorry. Super salty. We're at 13 concurrent viewers. I think that is good enough to start the Weeboversary. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my second ever video posted to the YouTubeverse. C in Art Class is the title. God. I haven't watched this in for forever, but oh my god, this is gonna be interesting. Let us begin. Let me know how the audio levels are. And also, is my desktop? Yes, my desktop audio is running.
As I close this chat.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. You guys let me know if I'm too quiet or too loud or what's up. And we will begin. Keep in mind that this is Weebo on the very, very back end of senior year of high school. So I didn't start making content until I was a senior in high school, just about to graduate. Wow, I'm getting old. Anyway, let's continue.
Chapter on my life and embark on the next one, I am reminded of a few things. 1. I have absolutely no idea what exactly I'm going to do with myself now. I just got out of a mandatory 14-year stint in public school, and it's like I'm seeing the sun for the first time. The grass is green, the world is clearer and brighter. I have free time. It's weird, but after about 5...
I have free time. It's weird. That lasted about all of 18 months, and then it ceased completely. There was no more of that after 18 months of free time. Apparently, it was not good enough for the weebs.
5 minutes after emerging from the prison that is public school, it dawned on me. Now what? I don't mean that I have no plan. I have a plan. It involves very vague outline of a half-detailed house and the blueprints of my life with my significant other.
Hey, that's El Boyfriendo! Oh, by the way, guys, not only is it my 6th year on YouTube here, in March it will be my 7th year with El Boyfriendo, so this YouTube channel is younger than my relationship is, right? Is that how you would say that? Yeah, just a whole bunch of good things happening in the early days of the early months of the year. So in February we get the YouTube chaniversary, the Weeboversary. In March we get the relationship anniversary, and then in April it's my birthday. So just lots of fun things happening. Lots of really good things. I'm so excited for this year. I mean, I know it kind of started off with a little bit of a bang, but it's definitely on an upward trend, I feel. It's been 6 years.
Though unfinished are glorious. It's the getting there that's the issue. I don't know how to get from this completed checkpoint to the next checkpoint, college, through that checkpoint to the next checkpoint. There's no video game tutorial for life.
Yeah, so I think the general idea behind the YouTube channel at that point in my life was to kind of document my thoughts in a sort of video diary-esque way. So as to have that documented. Okay, no. I think I was gonna document, just to document. No, it was, the intent behind it was to preserve me over the years as who I was growing up and becoming who I was meant to be, or just growing in general, actualizing, so that my children, grandchildren, and the generations following me could actually look back and be like, that was your great aunt Weebo, or great grandmother Weebo. Because believe it or not, I am not the only member of the family that is chronically obsessed with filming and documenting everything. My grandfather, who we refer to as Gomps because no one could say Gramps, was also very much in the mindset of documenting everything. So we have tons and tons and tons of footage from his earlier days, my dad's youth, my aunt's youth, the early marriage between my grandparents, and it's definitely left its mark on me. So that's where I was at mentally when I was creating these videos and making the channel initially. And now we're here. I mean, I still want to preserve me as I am, but I also feel like it's me shouting into the void as well. if that makes any sense. That's how I view this channel. It's mostly for me. Mostly for me. Maybe for like the select few that can get some peace from my videos.
Nothing from this point on is technically strictly mandatory. I have the ability to choose, and it's surreal. Number 2. Assuming I live for as long as my grandpa has so far, I'm about roughly 1/5 of the way through my life. That means that 80 years or less, I'll be dead. Probably.
That means in 80 years or less, I'll be dead. Wow. Dark thoughts, Weebo. Dark thoughts.
Medical science doesn't improve right now. Doesn't it? Anyway, how am I going to complete my bucket list in that amount of time? It took me 17 years to get the first thing, and the only thing I have gotten done on my bucket list, done 17 years to get kissed in the rain. And
that is true. It took me 17 years to get kissed in the rain. Thanks, dear.
One of the easier things on the list, assuming
it is, unless you are socially challenged and also intimidating to boys your age.
Everyone else doesn't have the personality or sexist shop Game of Thrones.
Oh, hi, Polly! Thank you for the happy anniversary. Appreciate it. We are reviewing old Weebo content, so this is Weebo from 6 years ago. 6 years in... almost, just under 6 years, I guess. Technically. God damn. I'm a fetus in this. I think my forehead actually got bigger as I got older. Does that look... Can someone measure this for me? I'm curious to know.
That's a reference I can't even fully appreciate since I've seen maybe for the episodes of Game of Thrones. But it's still...
And she watched all of the rest of Game of Thrones after the fact.
There are 16 other things on that list right now. That means that the rate I'm accomplishing things, if I don't add anything in the years to come, I should be done in 272 years.
She hesitated. Oh gosh, I was such a drama queen back then. Still am. I still have that calculator too. It's a freaking good calculator. It's like $80. This is the calculator that they mandate that you have in high school. It's a freaking good calculator. I wonder if it still works, actually. I haven't used it since high school. I haven't needed to. I wonder if the batteries have, like... Oh, yeah. They corroded. Rough.
So I'll be ready to die when I'm 290. If I get lucky enough to live to be 103, I can get to...
Oh, she whipped out the calculator again, boys.
6? Number 3.
What journal is that I'm using?
Live to be 103, I can get to... maybe 6?
I don't know where that journal is anymore. Okay, I guess I lost my bucket list, boys.
Number 3. They say that high school is the best time of your life.
It's not.
What? Excuse me?
I'm having the greatest
High
time of
school
my life
better
right
not
now.
be the best time of my life. I don't want to be sitting in my underfurnished apartment, rocking back and forth in fetal position, jobless, childless, significant otherless. Absolutely no direction to go but up. No way to get there because I'm too short to reach the next level. Looking back at my life, I'm like, yes, high school, the best time of my life. A time of waking up at the butt crack of dawn, having to eat maybe a tiny banana before shoving off to school, where I spent 8 reluctant hours of my life learning the wonders of physics and getting C's in art class. See? In art class? See? In art class?
I did get a C in art class, art fundamentals, freshman year of high school, and I will never be not pissed off about that, because that is a good freaking painting, thank you very much. I didn't deserve that C. I'm still salty about it, god damn it.
See? In art class?
I still have that picture too. It's hanging up right above the shelving up there. Yeah, that's also hanging on the shelf somewhere behind one of the furry little evil pet face thingies that someone gave me on side quest. I'm a sentimental fuck. Does it show? It is, baby Weebo. It is better than anything modern art has clunked out in the last 20 years. Alright, hang on, we gotta turn this up.
In the 18 years I've been on this planet, I've grown 5 foot 1 inch in space. I'd like to make that at least.
Did I just height docs? Oh gosh, I forgot I did that. If I had known that I did that in this video, I would not have put this video in this playlist, because now everyone knows that I'm not actually 5'2".
At least 5'2", so then I could have the possibility to become an astronaut. Come on, NASA. I would like to do more than just something. I'd like to be happy. I know it sounds deep, but I do.
And I am super fucking happy. Oh my god, I remember when I forgot that I did this. Aww. Baby Weebo was so hilarious. God damn. And please don't forget to have an awesome day, everyone. Peace. I should go back to doing this, honestly. I'm sorry, but would anyone be disgruntled if I went to go, like, back to the end credits where I was just crediting myself for everything? Would anyone be super salty with me? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first video that I filmed when I got to university. This is my freshman year dorm. You probably remember it from some of the earlier videos on this channel as well. Because, duh. And, oh my gosh. Look at those bananas in the background. They're so old. Anyway. You can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. We're gonna turn this bad boy up. I didn't know how to level audio at this point in my life, so I'm sorry.
An adjustment. On one hand, that feel like all of the 82 other bizarre like-minded.
So this is that YouTube music that they give you that's copyright and royalty free that you can just use for whatever. So, yeah. Beach blonde look. That was coming out of the summer, and I had spent all summer outdoors, my dude. So, yeah, that was beach blonde. As in, I had spent all summer on the beach getting my hair to a nice light color. I want you to know something. I want you to know something. I have never, ever in my entire existence, much less in less 6 years, dyed my entire head any one freaking color. I mean, I've had Angel Kiss little, like, highlight streaks-esque from, like, Rogue. And I've had clip-in red and blue streaks when I was, like, 4. But I've never formally dyed or highlighted or darkened my hair in any such way. It has always been naturally lit by the sun. So this, all natural. Very proud of that. My hair is awesome.
So things that I never thought that I was wanting. But on the other hand, there's the school part of this. I am, of course, talking about these. I've probably logged 30 hours so far just reading the materials, and it hasn't even been a full week yet. I felt like
Oh, you poor, sweet, innocent child of the Lord. You're in for a rude awakening. Just wait, just wait. You had free time. You had time to place hours and hours of Skyrim back in the olden days. And, that didn't last past freshman year.
asleep in the middle of reading my creative production and design book today, and I have 2 assignments due Friday that I really don't feel like doing because I really just want to. I spent about 6 hours last week.
Yeah, I really got into naps in college. I really got into naps.
Big color coding and organizing my calendar for the semester.
Oh my gosh, the paper calendar! This was before I started using Google Calendars. Or, blessed be thy calendar. For all of my everything.
And organizing my calendar for the semester.
Alright, I always color-coded my calendars, even when I was using paper calendars. I just want to put that out there.
That needed to get done. And I have No more socks left because I forgot to do my laundry today. I've already gained 4 pounds, which is either bloating or the start of the freshman 15.
It's bloating. I didn't get the freshman 15 until junior year of college.
So to counteract that, I'm forcing myself to go to the gym and yes.
Oh god, I amuse myself so much. I'm sorry.
I am definitely well-adjusted, contributing member of society.
That's bullshit. I wasn't contributing to jack shit. I was still a mooch.
Do so many grown-up things now, like declaring doctors' appointments.
I was already doing that.
I have not 1, but 2 gallons.
I have 2 calendars.
I have my own fridge, in which are my own groceries that I bought with my own money. See this milk? It's my milk. I bought it. See this creamer? It's my creamer.
Banana was like half rotten, so it fell.
These bananas. But they're mine. I'm drinking tea like a well-adjusted, very small.
What happened to that cup? I love that cup. What happened to it?
I even bought my own discourse, which gave me a slight minor mini emotional breakdown because I've never spent that much money.
Flash forward to this year when she purchased a printer for herself, when she had purchased a laptop for herself, when she had paid off medical bills by herself. Wow, how the times have changed. Still, that was a gift from my boyfriendo on our first Valentine's Day. Yes, Polly, the calendar fixation has been a long-standing pathology. A very, very long-standing pathology.
Overall, the classes are okay, except I have no idea what's going on in my theater class. Who knew? We built an entire textbook with everything that has to do with behind the scenes, creating what goes on the stage. I thought this was just a ruler. I had no idea that it wasn't just a ruler. I thought that this was just a funky ruler, but nope, it's more than that. So much more.
This video would be better without the music. I'm realizing that now. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Notes fill 3 pages on just one little section of this ruler. Just be guidance. Anyway, I'm 4 hours away from everything and everyone I've ever known. Wow, that's a little bit hard. I'm gonna do my best to make the most of it. And say to anyone who hasn't made this transition, do your best, guys.
Excuse me.
So, what's your experience so far in college? If you're not there yet, what are your thoughts and fears? If you've done it, tell me in the comments below. If you like this video, click like, subscribe, and there are links in the description to social media. That's it for this week. See you next week, guys.
Weebo, desperate. Weebo, lazy. Weebo, no good. Weebo, poor. Hungry and hella tired, rotten kid. Smiley face. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Is this the first? It is. Okay. So this is the first video that I ever produced. I was back home from college for this would have been fall break. So I was back home from college for fall break. I didn't have like a set because my bedroom was taken down. Oh shit. Did I get? I did. Okay, thank you, Lanny Stanfield, for the donation. Never forget Nightwing's butt. Happy anniversary. I think we'll get a little bit more of that later on when we're in the later half of the videos because, as we all know, the Nightwing poster was a staple of my background for a time there before everything had to move all of the time. Is Grid Girls in here? Oh gosh, I want to get through so many of these videos, but I put 21 in here, and I don't think we're going to get to all of them. But I do want to get through the first, like, 3, because they're pivotal. They are pivotal to the development of the Weebo Jones that you know and love today. So this is the very first video that I ever produced that was anything within the realm of ranting about political social issues, and it had to do with racist green face. So, let's begin. I think this could technically count as, like, the primitive version of the Halloween special. But it's only 3 minutes, so it's like a baby Halloween special.
He's a gorilla! Is that kid? Yes! Arr! Racist! Fine, okay, can I be a prince then? No, that is disrespectful to princes. Triggering. Also, your costume can attempt to represent an entire culture or ethnicity. Damn, I guess Martian's out again this year. No green face for me. Also,
actual picture of actual Weebo doing actual green face in high school. I was really into Halloween as a kid. I still am. The pandemic has limited my ability to be able to go trick-or-treating, unfortunately. Also, the fact that I live in Chicago, where you get mugged if you turn the corner at the wrong time of day. You can't hear the audio. What? Here, let me turn that up. I'm sorry.
no pregnant ones. But dude, that's a club.
Let me know if that's too loud or if that's just right. Because I can adjust.
Classic. Come on. And it's ironic. Also, no disco. Well, I can't really argue with that on principle, but what's wrong with it's the afro? They're offensive. What do you suggest I be for Halloween that isn't offensive? Well, you're a cis white female. Buy some Uggs and a grande caramel macchiato and you got yourself a basic white coat. Have fun trick-or-treating. Let's reel it back, guys. When did we start taking ourselves so seriously? I mean, today I stumbled on this article about how the UK Army was under fire for posting a picture of a soldier in blackface pulling some sort of silly face with the caption, "Being a soldier in the jungle requires a robust sense of humor." But people, two things. One, he's actually in jungle camouflage. He needs it for hiding purposes. Bet that his white honey sticks out like a sore thumb wherever it is that he is. And number two, if you zoom in real close, yeah, get up close and personal with the man, you'll find that it's not blackface, but is, well, in fact, really, really dark green face.
Oh hey, it's Daphne's first cameo in a video. Gotta love that.
All matter of perspective, really. Some people are more sensitive and perceive things as racist, while others perceive things as camouflage. Why are people so sensitive these days to the point where we get worked up over what type of costume is being worn by someone on a Hallmark holiday that's really all about the kids and the poor college students with no money and a craving for candy? There are other things to get worked up about, like string cheese, which is an absolute abomination, and FAFSA. Kids, it's that time of year again. You gotta get that done. Bye.
Yeah, kids, it's that time of year again. Get your FAFSA done. It's February. No, it's not. But also, I still stand by that. String cheese is disgusting.
Parental aid is a must. As always, if you like this video, you can click my face to subscribe. And there's a link in the description to all of my social media if you're interested. Also, you'll notice that I'm in a completely different location. I'm actually back home, and I don't have my swivel chair upstairs, so that's why I'm not filming in my room. So sorry for...
Every week. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently OBS is disconnecting and reconnecting me. Let's see. Are we good? Are we alright? Is everything copacetic? Alright. Let's go on to the next one.
Hey everybody, it's Weebo Jones. Since I wrote my see on the Diet Charles Manson video, and it was so popular for...
Oh yeah, that was a good video.
handful of
Straight up.
in-depth analysis of it.
He had been courteous and receptive to courtesy. He had established trust with the thousands of our needs.
I thought I'd give the people what they want and write another one.
No. I don't know why I included that one in here. It doesn't really do a whole lot. But this was important because it was my first ever #EverythingIsSexist video, which the next one will be coming out at some point this year. I've made a commitment to re-up the upload schedule for that this year so that I'm not, like, leaving it in the dust, because it is an important issue. I do think that I need to continue to revive, and I don't think I should just let it go. My original standing was, well, I've already talked about this issue, so how much more am I left to say? Well, turns out I could say quite a lot, because issues revolving around sex and gender apparently are ever evolving these days. Men can get pregnant, didn't you know that? No, I do have a lot more to say, it's just... they're gonna have to get a little bit more broad, because I don't have nearly as much time to go out of my way to look up specific individual stories about these instances that I am so passionate about on a frequent basis. It would have to be big chunky basis, because I've started doing the whole, like, 30-minute video thing nowadays, and that takes a lot of time. So unfortunately, we can't do 6-minute specials for the #EverythingIsSexist series. But what we can do is we can do a broad spectrum piece about multiple instances of a particular issue within the, as the boys call it, manosphere. So, we're looking forward to that this year. On with the video.
Everything is sexist.
I have too many brain cells for this. Masculinity confession booth hits Canadian campus. Men asked to disclose sins. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Where did that shirt go?
What kind of sins would
I
that
like
be
that
exactly?
shirt.
The sin of having a Y chromosome, the sin of having genitals that curve in an outward direction, and the sin of having testosterone. I would really like to know. Please, can I confess as well? Is that also an option for vagina-wielding peoples? I've never been to a confessional.
Vagina-wielding peoples. I was a woman ahead of her time. I knew. Back then I knew. Where we were going. I have a penis. Oh gosh. Low budget mustaches.
Disclosure,
my favorite
I do
thing.
not have a penis. Let's begin this absolute buffoonery. A Canadian university is hosting a 4-day, 4 whole days. Women get a whole month to celebrate their history, and men, they get 4 days. But it's to wallow in self-guilt and confessionals, otherwise patriarchy. 4-day event where students may enter a confessional booth to reconcile the sin of hypermasculinity. Who was given the authority on this? 'Cause I don't agree, per se. And I would like to write a letter to the congressman or women or Apache attack helicopter, 'cause gender inclusivity. Who decided that hypermasculinity was a bad thing? Let's get real. The University of Regina in Canada and the Man Up Against Violence Initiative organized a series of breakfasts because breakfast helps make this less morally demeaning to the men whom you are essentially demonizing. And for what? Being a tad more manly than your average BuzzFeed character? Workshops and other
Base stigma BuzzFeed.
social gatherings this week at its Saskatchewan campus. The project, which runs Monday through Thursday, seeks to redefine what it means to be a man. What does that even mean? Isn't each experience subjective to the individual, so thus you can't exactly strictly define in definite terms what it means to be a man, because everyone's experience is different? Because masculinity is what you would refer to as a spectrum.
I stand by that. The way that you present gender-wise, I mean, you don't have to be identifying in a completely different way, but you can still be a more feminine man, and it still be within that realm of manliness. I stand by that. I was watching a video of a guy who was doing makeup, And it wasn't like drag makeup. It wasn't in that way where like they have to glue their eyebrows with Elmer's glue and then paint over them with foundation and concealer in order to redraw them on in like the most boomerang-y way. Hi. Your computer's not. I'm kidding, it's fine, you're fine. I only got one comment about it so far. It's okay. Next time, don't buy an airport for a personal computer.
Maybe if yours could keep up with mine, it would sound like that too.
I need a better graphics card. I already know that. Right? Don't rub it in. I'm saving up. Anyway, so I was watching a video about a guy who was doing makeup, and it wasn't drag makeup, but it was he was filling in his eyebrows where they were lacking, and I definitely appreciated that because well on fleek defined eyebrows are very good. Like, as you can see, my eyebrows here. As you can see, my eyebrows are definitely on fleek, and so I definitely appreciate a gentleman who has taken the effort to make his similarly on fleek. But then he also did like the barest amount of concealer in order to like even out his skin tone. And it wasn't obnoxious. It wasn't drag. But it was an improvement. And I don't think any less of him as a man for having done that application. I mean, it's very understated compared to, say, I don't know, have you guys read your history about the history of aristocratic makeup looks? Because holy fucking shit. Foundation and some eyebrow filler compared to what these gentlemen used to do with the powdered wigs, like whole ass wigs, ladies and gentlemen. Powdered faces to the like nth degree. The frills on their cuffs and other such nonsenses to ostentate to the masses that they were richer than everyone else. I mean, the efforts that people took to demonstrate their wealth or their desirability in society, so much extra than what it is that we're talking about. So by comparison, definitely a lot better. And dare I say it, like I said, an improvement from the baseline that we're working with. I mean, if we can expect women to fancy up themselves, I don't think that it's the worst thing in the world that we encourage men to see about doing them themselves. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, but I'm saying that it's not the end of the world if a guy puts on a little bit of makeup. Actors do it. Please feed me the pancakes of self-flagellation. What? Anyway, continuing on.
Like, there are some men who are muscular and buff and chop down trees in the woods or whatever it is that my male family members do for lumberjack weekends. And then there are some who are transvestites or whatever. Meet up with University of Regina
Or
Students
ballerinas.
Union members and make a confession. I would like to confess something. This is utterly ridiculous and there's nothing wrong with being masculine whatsoever at all. No. Now, where can I get my free breakfast and will there be pancakes? The group.
No, I will say, there's nothing wrong with being masculine. Absolutely 100%. I stand by that. There's nothing wrong with being your brand of masculine. Either. So if you want to be floozy, by all means go ahead. That is the beauty of living in a free society, is you can be as flamboyantly masculine as you possibly want to, or you can be as lumberjack as you possibly want to. Personally, I do prefer a more lumberjack-esque. Now, I understand that that is a little bit of a contradiction from what I said about the... It's not a sticking point for me. I can deal without it. Continuing on.
The group's website reads, "We have all reinforced hypermasculinity one way or another, regardless of our gender." Yeah, I can see that. The way I absolutely detest stilettos and wearing skirts. Total sin. Absolute. Blasphemy. That's just not going to change. You might as well hang me for my views.
Now, I want to say... This is during the era of the MacBook Air. So this was before I had anything resembling audio equipment. I didn't have the Blue Yeti at this point. I didn't have a proper webcam. I was using the microphone for the MacBook, and I was using the camera on the MacBook. So all of my gear and all of my software too was free, by the way. It was all self-contained, and it was the best that I had at the time that I could work with, and I did what I could. But like I said, the audio is lacking, as you can tell. I didn't know how to level very well, and I didn't really understand that you had to adjust the gains in order for it to be audible. So I'm sorry if you're having trouble hearing it. Unfortunately, there's not much that I can do about that. This was like 5 years ago.
Come and share your sins so we can begin to discuss how to identify and change our ways. How about this? You carry on self-hating, and I go with all of my guy friends to the next raceway tailgate, or I drive off with my crew into the sunset on a motorcycle wearing ripped jeans and t-shirts and leather gear and visit a fake.
This is Weebo trying so hard to be nonchalantly one of the boys. All of what I said is true. That is something that I do, but oh my gosh, was I peacocking it at that point.
The 2015 promotional video for the group enlisted the school's coaches, students, athletes, and alumni to discuss the issue the Daily Call reported. We don't have to continue to live in a misogynistic society. We don't, so there you go. Carry on. A football player said, I think changing this falls on everyone, and especially men. Especially men?
Off with his head!
I think changing this falls on everyone, and especially men, because quite frankly, we are the problem right now. No, you know what the problem is? You're not assigning responsibility where responsibility is due. The only reason I can think of as to why this event is even happening has something to do with the false consensus that masculinity is toxic. The only reason that is the case is because females are less included in things they are not interested in, and happen to feel slighted by this lack of inclusivity. There's this desire to measure up and be as good, if not better, at certain things than men are, and when that's unachievable, they have to overcompensate for their lack of ability and representation and such by shutting down and making masculine endeavors a bad thing. If we can't do it, neither can you. Take, for example, the popularity of men's sports to that of women's. Men get paid drastically more, and as a result, women get outraged. But that's because men sell better in terms of sports. More people tune into the Super Bowl than whatever the women's football league final game is. My point exactly. The group's website.
I would just like to amend my statement to say, I think sports would be better if we allowed for steroids and bionic man parts to be included in the sports. So like we pulled out all the stops and made it exceedingly more dangerous. Made it like a risk. I don't know, something gauntlet-y, something gladiatorial, something where there were actual stakes and maybe some human rights violations. To me, I'm not a big sports ball fan, to be honest, not gonna lie. I'm actually hosting an anti-Super Bowl party on the 13th for people that don't care about the Super Bowl and just want to eat chili. And I think that it would hold a lot more of my interest if sports ball was higher stakes. So like bionic super muscles and the best bodies that science could build. How about that? Is that better? Is that what you want to hear me say? There we go. That's my take on sports ball. Completely joking, by the way.
That adds that its mission is to use education, training, partnerships, and awareness to embrace positive ideals of masculinity. I'm unaware of what the negative ideals of masculinity are, at least yours, for instance. And I would ask for an example, and then I would proceed to say something along the lines of, well, that's subjective, so I don't see the point, and inspire men to accept their role as advocates in the movement to prevent violence in our communities. Wouldn't that be everyone's job to prevent violence in our communities? things, why is it just specifically on women? Don't women play a role in preventing violence from happening? I could be wrong, but that's a thing that should be considered. Masculinity doesn't necessarily have anything to do with violence, okay? And by this I mean, just because you have a penis does not mean that you're going to hit a woman. I don't know.
Just because you have a penis doesn't mean you're gonna hit a woman. Words to live by, boys. Remember that. Just tuning in to see Weebo's new face after her transplant surgery in Venezuela. Dude, they got me, like, the best face that they could. Do you see this? This is not bad, alright? It's actually quite similar to the old face that I had, with a slight correction for, obviously, the glasses. And then, the eyebrows are a little bit darker than, I guess, as you can see in this video previously. Also, there's this nice little, like, half crescent moon-ish thing going on. Makes me look super freaking edgy. But I digress.
If y'all like this episode of Everything is Sexist and wish to contribute your
Still on the channel, send it to me with a timestamp so that I can, like, grab it. If that makes sense. Birthday. Is it the one from 2019? Because I'm pretty sure it is, right? Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure. I will do it just for you if we can find it. We gotta find the dive. Okay, it is this one. Where is the birthday cake part? Is it here? Was it before or after I put on the red dress? Which I also still have, by the way. When did I stuff my face into a cake? Was it here? No, that's Beardy. Was it here? Send it to me, and I will absolutely 100% do the thing with the stuff. I'm sending it to you in the Discord, okay? Oh my god! Are we friends? We're friends, right? I just can't spell your name right. Oh, and I'm in the not safe for work section. Here's the video. Find me the timestamp. I will make it happen. We will watch that muff dive live on air. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Michael Hatfield says, "Happy anniversary, Weebo. I can't believe it's been 6 years. I've been a fan from the start. I wish you success in all you do and look forward to future content. Stay awesome." Yes! That's the support and love that I like to hear from people and stuff and things. Oh, that sounded insincere, but I mean it with my full chest. Is it looping for anyone else? Is it looping? Wait, you can't see it? Did I take this off the air? No, it's unlisted, so you can still see it. You just have to have the direct link. Okay, so you should be able to do it. If you can't, let me know. In the meantime, ooh. Shall we do the Blackwash? Or do you want to move on to the Anti-Diss Track Volume 1? We are at almost an hour time. I aim to go about 2 hours, but in order to do that, we're gonna have to cut down on some of this content. And some of it, it's gold, man. Some of this content is just pure gold. Alright, so I'll give it a break before we continue on. Check back in with the chat, see what's up. If anyone has any other suggestions for me about videos that we can delve into, I have a preloaded anniversary stream playlist, but I am willing to deviate if you so choose. I don't mind. Yeah, I think part of the reason why it's so bad today is because of the snowstorms. Unfortunately, it has been one heckin' of a day in terms of snowstorms. Okay, so we gave you a timestamp, 3412. 3412. 3412. 3412. Okay, alright. We'll start before the actual muff dive, and we'll just move into it, alright? Are we ready? This was my 2019 birthday stream. It is now unlisted. This is part of the reason why I had to quit side quest. I'm not gonna lie. This was one of the things, because all is well now. No one can tell me what to do with my free time anymore. Except for maybe Valentine. All she can do is beg me for pets. Alright, are we ready? Let me see. Can I turn it up? I'm excited for this. I haven't seen this since it happened. Oh, hang on. I gotta place it on the cake, and then you can sing happy birthday. Oh, so this was supposed to be a roast, by the way. So I organized some of my closest YouTube friends to kind of come on and celebrate with me, and part of that celebration included a gigantic, not gigantic, but like a 7-layer cake. And someone had previously, I'm pretty sure it was Joe Lander, sent me penis candles. So, like, tiny, mid-sized, yellow penis candles, and one of them went on that cake, and yeah. I gotta move the other candles. Here. It's just... yeah. Can you guys see it?
That's a lot of dick on that cake.
Yeah, that's...
We're gonna...
It's yellow!
Yeah, they're yellow.
It's a high yellow. You look like
Hang on,
that, like that light-skinned penis.
I'm having trouble. Alright, now I gotta light the rest of these candles.
I would say that's Asian penis, but it's like, I'm saying it's over an inch.
That sexy voice in the background, that's your boy Pat, Beardy, the Ranting Monkey, and Magog of Morscar.
It's a very tight scrotum on those fellas.
Yeah, very tight scrotum.
Yeah, I might be worried about cancer or infertility if they were hanging that high all the time.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny that he says that, because one of the videos that I have is the I Stones, I Cobbler, I Nuts video, which is basically just a PSA about testicular cancer and checking yourself that I did for my audience.
You gotta let the balls breathe and dangle.
They'll get enough time to breathe and dangle when I've taken them off the cake. It's fine.
Oh, dang, man. This is a whole lot of S&M, man.
Somebody's dick is on fire!
Oh.
she's part dominatrix.
I did not plan this, but I'm so glad it happened. You lay down now.
Is this how you practice?
No, this is how she praises the Dark Lord Dicicus.
Alright.
Bow before Dicicus.
Oh, Race, you gave me more time than I was supposed to have? Okay, well, I gave you even more time than I was supposed to have, so let's just continue on. Everything goes up in flame.
Have you ever heard of a Hand of Glory? This is a whole new take on it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
to Weebo.
Oh my gosh, they suck at singing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
And you smell like one too.
Alright, so now I gotta blow on these dicks then?
Blow the dick out. Yeah. Blow me.
Yeah!
I really hope the fire alarm doesn't go off.
It's funny how she has an uncircumcised and circumcised dick.
I really hope that somebody takes that clip and re-uploads it as people blows 2 dicks at the same time on camera.
Okay, so the concern was that the fire alarm was gonna go off, and the reason why it was such a concern is because it's super sensitive, and if it goes off, you have to clear the house completely. So I could not be in there if it had gone off for the rest of the stream until the fire department had cleared it, and sometimes it took them a while. Can you stop being the center of attention for like 5 seconds? You whore! I love you, but you whore! Anyway, so that was a genuine concern of mine that I had, is like, okay, but if the fire alarm goes off, can you guys carry the rest of this birthday roast without me? Just go ahead.
Alright, hang on. I need a napkin with something.
That's going on Pornhub.
Oh, I love the fact that this
Hot
happened
YouTube star blows on a dick.
live on the street.
2.
Alright, let's put the dicks over here.
Ooh, that was a really good hairstyle. I should probably go back to that. None of this bang shenanigans anymore.
There are so many holes in this cake now. Alright.
The word for you to love. Just stick your tongue in every hole.
Now, are you just biting in?
No, so I'm cutting off a slice because other people have to eat this, but I'm cutting off a slice.
Yummy.
And then I'm gonna put it on the plate and I'm gonna shove it into my face without using my hands.
She's got a knife.
Oh gosh, what was I gonna say? Something about, oh, the day that this birthday happened, this was my 21st birthday, and I was just legally allowed to buy alcohol. So I went to the store, the local Kroger down the street, and I purchased 2 bottles of wine, 1 whole ass cake. No, yes, 2 bottles of wine, 1 whole ass cake, a whole thing of Fireball, which I didn't end up actually drinking a whole lot of. I gave it to my brother after the fact because I ended up not really enjoying Fireball all that much. And I think candles. I got the actual other candles, the not dick candles too. Just for this.
She's got that monkey toes, that's why Rantu's here.
How much is too much? This much?
The Wednesday show. Go.
Alright, Beardy, tell me one.
Over 1 inch more. There, yes, there. That's an appropriate sized birthday cake, please.
Alright. Hang on.
Yeah, she can peel a banana with those toes. Cut me a piece, baby.
Got him.
Yeah.
Is it made of masonry?
No, multiple layers of chocolate and custard, and she's gonna.
These are really freaking cake.
It's gonna be fun.
Alright, ready?
Yeah, you should present yourself.
It's got a cream center.
So that it stays on you. The camera
Alright.
needs to stay. There we go. Perfect.
Alright.
There you go.
You're welcome, Internet.
Hang on.
Yeah, you might want to pin your hair back.
Yeah, pin your hair back. Make it a handlebar.
You're letting me to hold on to it for you.
No, we're good.
Tie that shit in a knot. Yeah, do it. Alright, here we go.
Actually, no, the hat
backward.
needs to go. Ready?
Yeah.
Actually, I like that idea.
Yep.
Hat backwards. So
Yeah.
I'm serious.
There you go. Come on.
Bury it into your face hard.
Hang on, there's a piece of wax right
Put your nose up its fucking
God, the fucking anticipation is just building.
ass.
there. Hang on, I gotta get. Jesus.
And tongue butter that cream.
Yes,
Jesus
anybody
Christ.
with a gluten allergy, look away now.
I'm wondering, do I go in from the sides or do I just go straight down?
Do both. Start from the side and work your way
Straight-
in. You got
Straight into it.
And then you got it. Foreplay is important. Tongue.
You just gotta bury into it.
No, right before
Bury
you
your
slam
face
your
into
face
it like a.
This is
Ram
what I
it.
do with my lady friends. Right before you slam into it, you yell, "Excelsior!"
I have a better one. I think it's Deus Vult.
I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a cake that is best enjoyed in all of its layers, not just the top, 3 at a time, but all 7 of them. So if you can really get a fork into all 7 and then shove it in your mouth, that would be better than what is happening here.
Yes, keep going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is a look of beauty. Holy shit, this is the new Joker trailer, isn't it?
Yeah. I was thinking.
You want to know how I got this cake?
She thought her life was a tragedy. Now she realizes it's a comedy.
Yes.
Put it in your mouth. Swallow it, bitch. I don't want to see any of it drip off your chin. You swallow every bit of it. Take that shit down your throat hole.
You tell that this is a different time in the internet. history.
Lubricate those fucking tonsils!
Okay, I want you to know that the commentary that I'm listening to in the background as I'm trying not to choke on all of this cake is, not helping the situation.
I'm gonna fucking choke.
Breathe through your nose. I believe in you.
Give your fucking uvula diabetes.
Take it. Take it all.
Now I can see exactly. Looking back, I mean, yes, it's hilarious, but from the perspective of the person that was dissatisfied with this particular stream and the consequences that they subjected upon me as a result of this stream, I can see why they would think that this is, uncouth. I guess is the best term for it.
You look so beautiful with it all over your face.
What?
You look so beautiful with all that cake on your face.
Make that cake scream #MeToo.
If you gargle it a little bit, I'll love you.
Hang on.
Yes, Jeff Fisher, this is actually her birthday, and this is what we're making her do. We're monsters.
It's time to run the light.
Okay, alright. We need to move on. We could spend a good long while on the rest of that, because it lasted a long while, but we have other content to get to that I really wanted to get to. Namely, I really wanted to get to this. The cringiest thing that I have ever done on the internet. The first diss track. There are 2 others. Thank you for your patronage. Before I continue on, let's just hit that one specifically. Thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation. Happy 6th anniversary, Weebo. I'm still so appreciative that you stopped by my 6th anniversary stream back in December. You've always been a really great friend, and thank you for always being awesome and always staying true to yourself. Respect, homie. Thank you. I almost knocked my headphone out, but thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, are we ready for this dope fire that I'm about to drop? Because, I don't think you are. Let's go, boys. This deserves. No, it doesn't. We can't do that. Because of the way that I set it up. We're just gonna have to make it bigger.
Just a group of peasants who got something to say. You can call them anti-social justice community. They be kicking through trolls and they be trolling through keks, all using the same video to respond to next. Look at these fools who are up to no good with the struggle and channel so misunderstood. You got a couple of doctors, some animals here, some clones and some suits. Oh, so cavalier. And a few of them females with their faces on screen got boobs and display for some YouTube money. Let's go through the list and I'll single them out. Shine a light on their eyes to see what they all about. First on the block is the king of the sphere, Sargon of Akkad. I see no greatness here. Driving away facts in a British baritone will put you to sleep. Be so overblown. Maybe some humor and maybe a script. We'll make this with a nuisance seem kinda legit. He's still pulling views somehow without Gamergate. You're a tired act boy. No one can relate. Next to the king is his net of neuroplectics. The OG Logiconium or trademark skeptic. He's got an ego to match his penguin suited dad. Bob behind a one in animation, Google image, Photoshop. He's gotten less games since he moved from Pierce Stein. Religion isn't hot no more. He's since diversified. The Maple Leaf Warrior's more than a little off base. He needs a lame man to come and put him in his place. Speak of the devil of the simple-minded hack. You knew we'd get to underwhelming mundane math. There's a reason he's mundane in an anal iteration. He argues with himself and puts his substance to sedation. Post videos most days, man, you're such a hypocrite. Bitching about joy doing that like you're the opposite. And the way you film shit without any regrets. Not an edit in sight, my dude, it's like you got Tourette's.
I'm so proud of myself for being... You can't deny the playful shit-talking of this was on par.
On the other side of this YouTube update for she was Chris Ray Gunn and his taming of the green crew. What is that catchphrase he always likes to say? I'm sure in more than one way. You got away with words, man, there ain't no doubt about it. How about a video that recommends around the crowded? It's been a few weeks since you graced us with your face. Does Sexy have your balls and are you a sex slave? ladies first, but I save the best for last. The lady of our nuts, and I hope I'm not harassed. They call her shoe on head, but she ain't a cam whore. I mean, let's be real, maybe if she put out videos more. It's funny, I admit, but 800K funny, that's a lot of subs, man. But I bet they're all for Ollie. There's 47 in 3 years, that's a low-ass rate. Supply and demand are whack, but ain't no fucking way.
Okay, I want you to know that the entirety of all of the music in this diss track was consisted of Apple GarageBand loops, and the lyrics, they were all original, they were all super clever. In my opinion, I think that I was a lyrical genius to be able to fit them into the syllabic range that I was limited to by the Apple GarageBand loops. So, I'm still very proud of this and how well it turned out, considering I am the whitest pasty white bitch you have ever met or been blinded by. Yeah, I have YouTube Preview. Why is that? Is that a bad thing? Am I not supposed to? But yeah, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, and I gotta say the hardest thing about this was fitting the lyrics with the constraints of the Apple loops, because I'm not nearly creative enough to be able to produce anything musically rappy in the repetitive music-y nonsense. I don't know how to phrase it. My brother is the one that does the sig beats and tracks and whatnot. I was never great at it. I mean, yeah, sure, I learned how to play guitar and I recorded a few songs back in the day. But nothing that I would ever put on the internet. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Diss tracks were it. That was as far as I was willing to go. Yeah, let's do Truly Oppressed Minority. The first one. Fuck.
I accidentally forgot my giant ass, full painted ass, gaping like a pigeon bitch's ass, hoop earrings at home. I hope the viewers get my obvious attempt at emulating a new Sarkeesian, obnoxious as fuck red lipstick, and the Batman-esque winged eyeliner. All I need now is a dead, cold-hearted, unsympathetic woman on a mission looking my ass, and nothing else said. Is this good enough? Hello, everyone. It's your girl Weebo here. There is an epidemic, one of epic proportions. The media is taking a minority group of people and race-bending them in droves to fit a narrative. They're washing away a history of adversity, but more importantly, they're washing away a people, a noble people, a people oppressed since before all time, a people fetishized as exotic.
If I speed it up to 1.30, is that still legible to the people? Just curious, because that'll help us get through more content more quickly.
It has begun. The blackwashing. The fuck? That was in the script. I can't say this. Can I? Am I exotic enough to say this? Yeah. I'm Polish. My Slavic people were slaughtered not long ago in the Holocaust. I have impression points to cash. We're gonna make this fucking video, okay? Okay. To mention I'm like 50% red hair on my mother's side. That is if red hair is her natural color. I don't know. She's had her hair cells fucked with like 2 separate instances.
In an alternate comic book universes, where renegade comic book characters are replaced with darker skin tone black actresses and actors in order to placate a mass of people who usually have an issue with white people when they do the exact same thing to minority peoples. One redhead will rise up.
Nope.
One redhead will rise up.
Nope.
One redhead.
Nuh-uh.
One redhead.
No, he's black now.
One redhead will rise up.
Nope, not a redhead anymore. Okay, so we gotta talk about the double standard here. The epidemic of diversity hires, and most importantly, the oppression of redheads. So this all started...
YouTube's impression of Weebo on cocaine. Dude, the day that I go on cocaine is the day the world stands still.
Last Wednesday night, when I got an email notification telling me that they had cast Starfire in the upcoming Teen Titans live-action series. If you know anything about me, this is something to get hyped about. At least in my opinion. Now, I went to go check to see who it had been. It was an actress by the name of Anna Jaya? Yup. However you say it. Now, who is she, you ask? Well, which is why, like a good little fanboy, I decided to go. This is Emma Dark. And now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is Starfire. Bit of background for you: Starfire is an alien from the planet Cameron. She is known for her shocking looks, not just her cute body and gorgeous features, which I will admit Anna Diab does look gorgeous as shit. No denying it. But I will
100% still agree with that.
I'll say this: the red hair and the orange skin are pivotal because they are iconically her. She is the comic book redhead. Fuck Jean Grey. Never mind Barbara Gordon. Sorry. the rules.
Fuck Barbara Gordon! But not like in a sexy way. More like in a paralyze her from the waist down for life kind of way.
But I do, because this is my channel, and I've been waiting for this live action for like 12 years. Contrary to my agitated aura, I do not have a problem with the fact that they cast Anna as Starfire. She's a freaking alien with orange skin. She was gonna need heavy makeup and after-shot editing regardless of whoever the fuck played her. Unless Gizmodo, of course, gets their way, which is where half of it comes from. Quote, the way the new Teen Titans series decides to depict Starfire could be a very big deal. The show could decide to have Dive undergo full body paint in order to achieve Starfire's canonical Tamarinian look. Alternatively, her look could be much more oriented towards Dive's natural looks, which would be a major shift in the way that Starfire is represented on screen. In Starfire's case, given the budget constraints of most digital-only shows, it could make a lot more sense to forego the orange skin in favor of a more manageable special effects to invoke her Tamarinian powers. Now,
as we all know, because we've all seen scenes from the Teen Titans the Titans, technically, because it's not Teen Titans, Titans live action TV show, they did opt to forego the special effects and makeups when emulating Starfire's canonical Tamarinian look, which I'm still fucking salty about, but it's okay. I wrote it off as a pipe dream a long time ago. I will never get season 6 of Teen Titans, and I will never get the live-action Teen Titans that I so desperately need, and that us fans so dearly deserve for having put up with this on and off again bullshit, and not to mention, Teen Titans Go. Alright?
if Gizmodo gets its way, comic book nerds everywhere who have been waiting forever for this iteration most of their lives and don't give a flying fuck about Dive's natural looks and a shift in representation will take a big issue with this, me included. Red hair, orange skin, or there will be angry fanboys. There will be a march called #Tamaranian Representation Matters. Yes, it's wordy and lengthy, but I don't care. It will occur. I can promise you this. So Gizmodo, you can fuck off with your social justice bullshit. This isn't a game. This is real life.
This isn't a game. This is real life. Oh, you poor, naive, innocent child.
On to bigger things. Do I think that they cast Anna because she was black over her acting skills? I hope to fucking God not. And I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what they have in store. As of right now, my anger is reserved for the Gizmodo article and not the actual production itself. However, I would be remiss if I didn't admit that it is highly suspicious of them to cast a black woman as a redhead in current year. I mean, have you been paying attention at all? They've been doing it for a while now. Especially in DC Comics for some reason.
In before literally everyone else and their mother made the same exact observation. This was published in 2017, August of 2017. My boys, my girls, my friends, my people, lizard friends, and variants thereupon. This is a video ahead of its time. Truly.
Let's see. First, it was Iris West from The Flash, played by Candice Patton. Then Iris West from the Justice League movie, played by Kiersey Clemens. Neither a redhead. Then we have Shira, aka Hawkgirl, from Flash in the spin-off DC's Legends of Tomorrow, played by the lovely Ciara Renee. Also, not a redhead. Next, we got Jimmy Olsen, aka Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl, played by, I'm gonna fuck this up, Mecca Brooks. Bitch doesn't even have a single hair on his head. Not a one. Not to mention he is way too gorgeous to play Jimmy Olsen. Have you seen Jimmy Olsen? Have you? Okay, so what about Alice Monaghan from the Hellboy franchise? An Irish-blooded redhead who is being portrayed by a Polynesian woman by the name of Sacha Lane. Now, in classic SJW fashion, I'm going to regale you with history of oppression and how past injustice is suffered by the redheads as a people.
Of like giving a very brief, watered-down history of a current topic. So first it was the history of redhead oppression, and then we moved on to other such topics that we will get into. And eventually it culminated into, I think the very last one that I did was the history of the swastika, the complete history of the swastika, which was like a 22-minute coverage of 1,300 years of history for one single symbol. Which is a lot. It's a lot. But I think important to put things into a better context, into a better contextual light. Because a lot of people, they take a concept and they look at it from the lens of modern day perspectives instead of from the perspective of the people existing in that time period with that mindset and that context available to them. That is a chronic issue that we will never cease to have as a society, I fear. But it is what it is. The best that you can do is make people aware of it, I think. And so that's what I attempted to do in here, in this video.
Redheads were thought to be amongst the most vile of creatures. The infamous Malus Maleficarum, otherwise known as the Hammer of Witches, was a guide written by a member of the clergy as a manual meant to identify and hunt down witches. If you would all recall from your history lessons, they were none too kind to suspected witches.
You have pled guilty to the practice of witchcraft. Again?
Again.
Supposedly, according to various sources of varying reputations, the Hammer of Witches referred to red-haired peoples as incubi, lycanthrope, and witches. I say this with a manner of uncertainty because despite my brief stint in middle school as an occult-obsessed nerd, I never actually managed to get my hands on a copy of the Malus Maleficarum. I mean, can you just imagine the charge of my dad's credit card transaction at 14? Weebo, why did you decide to buy a book that teaches you how to hunt down and kill witches? Because I was bored, Dad. To Kill a Mockingbird is only so many pages. Jeez. They would be tried and subsequently killed, and even at times their very trial process would end up killing them. For example, the infamous swimming test where suspected witches were bound and stripped and tossed into a nearby body of water. If they floated, they were witches. If they sank to the bottom, they were not.
That wasn't edited by me.
But perhaps one example is not suitable for you people. During the Spanish Inquisition, quote, Asian bias against red hair manifests in the flaming hair of Seth Typhon, and in the red-haired slave figure of the classical comedy persists in medieval and Renaissance drama and visual arts, as well as in European folklore, where red hair symbolizes the fires of hell and the demons stroking them. As a result, English, German, French, Polish, and East Slavic popular cultures designate red hair and freckles as peculiar to Judas and the Jews. The same association runs in high culture from the Spanish Inquisition's view, or red hair as Jewish by default, from the Jewish persons in European imagination, in case of Russian literature, page 89 to 90. Now, if you recall, the Spanish Inquisition, 2,000 people were judged in Valencia and Barcelona, around 91.6% to 99.3% of which were Jewish. Now, they were killing Jews, and since all of the redheads were thought to be Jews, and redheads are generally in short supply, the likeliness of the percentage of redheads killed is vast, is it not? Is that not enough impression for you?
A. Clifton asked, did we ever get a climax to the incel witch guy saga? That kind of fizzled out after very much meandering on Twitter, back and forthing, and subtweeting of shenanigans on the Twitterverse. I think he had some real life stuff going on that prevented him from actually being online. I think at one point, I don't know for certain, but based on speculation, I think that he ended up becoming homeless for a time, and so as a result was prevented from updating his various social medias for a length of time. I do know that at some point he came back, and at that juncture he ceased to reach out to specifically me and specifically SDA and the other people, members of the minions of the zoo, that he was vehemently harassing. After that, yeah, after I got an update about whether or not he came back or not, because I was like, did he die or something? After that, I just kind of lost interest, and so it just fizzled out. Which is the best possible outcome that you can have for an online troll slash obsessed cultist personality, to be quite frank. The boring results are the ones that you want, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, you end up with something akin to, I don't want to specifically point fingers, but current going-ons in certain drama communities, as we so speak. But I continue on.
How about a more contemporary example? These headlines. Men stabbed over ginger hair. Woman wins, ginger drives tribunal. Red-haired family forced to move. Schoolboy bullied over ginger hair.
Yes, Race, it was the YouTube dick pic guy. His name was YouTube Renegade. That is the one.
Hanged himself. Red hair revenge. Attack on Lincoln boy. Seized men jailed. I'm sure you've heard the terms carrot top, ginger, carrot heads, all typically derogatory terms, right? Oh, and you thought that War for the Planet of the Apes was racist, bigoted, and offensive? What about ragas, an Australian term derived from the red-haired ape orangutan to describe redheads? How about the common saying that gingers have no soul?
Oh, Jessica Rabbit.
Scientists are prejudiced against certain races? How about this? There was a study done, a highly inaccurate one, mind you, all documented in a book by the name of Criminal Women, the Prostitute, and the Woman. By Cesar La Rosa, Guillermo Dorado. Now, children, let's look at pages 122 and 123 in our textbooks. Quote, hair. The hair of criminals and prostitutes is darker than that of honest women. According to Tarnowski, however, more blondes can be found among prostitutes than thieves, since fair-haired specimens of the former class are more sought after. Moreau, notwithstanding the newness of his data, also noted the predominance of blonde and red hair among women offenders against chastity, an observation that accords with my own. Notice the graph here, taken from that very book, states that red-haired women make up 48% of all criminal women and 0% of all normal women. You'll also note that the percentage of criminal women adds up to 141%. No relevance, just thought that was hilarious in the findings. 41%.
Yeah. Did they mean, like, across the... No, they didn't, because red-haired 48% and 0%. Okay, yeah, so... okay. Yep, nope, my math is correct.
No relevance, just thought that was hilarious in my findings. And I could go on and on and on, yada yada yada. More little tidbits of information that prove the continuous oppression felt and bigotry faced by redheads to make you sympathetic to their plight. However, I'm not going to bore you with excruciating details. Let's get on to the question of why do I care? Frankly, I don't give a damn. All of this happened either a long ass time ago or not by my hands. However, what's happening now is that people seem to have conniption fits whenever a white person or a person who looks too white or not ethnic enough portrays a person of color. I believe the kids are calling it whitewashing these days. How's that for anti-racism? But at the same time, those same people take no issue with red-headed characters being blackwashed. Yeah, makes sense. If you want to talk about the oppression of a minority, then so be it. Let's talk about it. And let's talk about the biological minority. A sect of people born into this world from birth different from everyone else. 1 to 2% of the population with a history of oppression are being oppressed by other people.
Straight up, they are the biological minority. Like, phenotypically representing. Black people, not so much. Asian people, not so much. Mexicans, not so much. Because, let's be honest, you go anywhere else in the world, white people cease to be the majority. They cease to be the majority when you take into account a global concept, global aspect of the population. If you are specifically going with a North American centric view of what minority representation entails, then yes, sure, fine. We accept that. But globally speaking, we are not a minority, or we are not a majority. Just thought I'd point that out.
Certainly, this would merit them the maximum number of oppression points, because they're a historically oppressed super minority. So my argument is for that of consistency. If you're going to make a big deal about the subtle oppression of other people, then make a big deal about the blackwashing of redheads in the public media. I've presented you with a substantial history, contemporary and otherwise, of oppression. There's data, there's newspaper articles, headlines, there's even media representation that leaves some things to be desired. So then where's the activism? Where's the outrage? The question to ask now is this: do you compromise your ideals, or do you compromise your ideals? And by that I mean, do you accept the marginalization of an oppressed minority in favor of your own people's benefit, or do you stand with a more marginalized minority? Because remember, if we're adding up oppression points in the Olympics of marginalized groups, then I'd give the vote to the redheads. Points for being most provable statistical minority. The duration of their oppression spans a much longer time period than anyone else. And because the percentage of members among them slighted in ways such as derogatory words, genocide, unlawful executions, fetishizations, and general oppression is greater due to their minority status. So let's get it on, such justice warriors. We're going to have to make some sort of decision on the matter. Do you side with the true, more oppressed minority, or not? Either way, it's a win for me. I'm just here to give you the facts and offer you an impossible ultimatum on a silver platter. In an alternate comic book universe, where everything is backwards. Join us next time when we talk about the over-sexualization and objectification of male superheroes in media. So I feel...
Oh my god, I should do that. Like, that was a joke, but I should actually make that video. For serious. Like, I should actually make the video, but as a joke, because I know that no one actually gives, like, no one is genuinely offended by the over-sexualization and fetishization of male comic book superheroes. Or, to be quite frank, any fictional character. At all. I should make that video. I think I will. I'm going to make a note of it. I'm going to write it down and come back to this idea at a later date. Male fetishization of fictional characters. It's going on my to-do list, boys. Carrying on. Okay, so we already did the anti-SJW diss track. Should we do the Halloween special, the very first one? Or we have a half an hour left. I'll let you guys decide. We have a few other ones that we could do. If anyone has anything that they like that piqued their interest. I know someone said something about the Grid Girls video. I don't remember. Like, I remember that video, but I don't specifically remember if it was that funny. I guess we could look a little bit at the video. Just to entertain the masses.
Let's get
quirky and here we go. Yeah, alright. We'll watch it. We'll watch some of it. If it's good... Oh, it's 25 minutes. That takes up most of the time that we're going to be here. Alright. Alright, we'll do it. Unless... Oh yeah, the Mega Ninja Beast is in here. Whatever happened to the fan-mailed wanker. Oh, I want to watch that one first. Because I worked very hard on that trailer. And then we'll watch Mega Ninja Beast. And if we continue, if we have time, we'll do Grid Girls and... Ooh, the 14-point plan to save the white race. I definitely want to watch that one.
Alright, you do that. Bye.
The wrong side of the wagons.
Oh, not that one. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a shitty producer. There we go. Say hello, everybody. So, okay, I have to sign this and then send it back. There is no return address. Oh, no. There's no return address. Does that mean I have to keep it?
Dear creator, hopefully this letter finds you well. Let's play a game I like to call Hot Potato Joe. Should you choose to accept it, your mission is to sign the Hot Potato Joe, the enclosed item, forward it to another creator that you know the address or P.O. box of. The objective? To get rid of the item as quickly as possible without throwing it away. The rules. You can't tell the creator that you sent it to. You must write your internet name with the return address. You must sign the item with your internet name. You must include this letter. You must change your Twitter name to The Average Joe until such time as the recipient of your forward changes their name to The Average Joe. If you do not accept this mission, simply return the package to the previous sender. If you, however, accept this mission, you have your instructions. Happy passing.
All of that was created in iMovie. Okay, so you want to know who I sent the Average Joe to? I sent it to Ghastly. Because I had his P.O. box information, so I sent it off to him. And it never arrived. Or if it did, he never admitted it. And I don't know what happened to it afterwards. The Average Joe, there is a gigantic dildo out there somewhere. A vibrating dildo out there somewhere with my name signed on it. Just flapping in the wind. And some very confused person going, who is Weebo Jones? And why did they sign their name to this? I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. Oh, and I went out of my way to actually type out the instructions and have them laminated and put them in with the package just so that they wouldn't get ruined. Because I was really hoping to make this a thing. But no one ever, nothing ever came of it. And I'm just so angry about that. No, Ghastly never got it. As far as I'm aware, he never received a penis in the mail. Which sucked. I was so hoping that would have panned out too, Brad Young. But alas, it did not. I don't know why there's 10 seconds of dead air after this. But there is. I do my best within 2 minutes worth of content. I gotta say, my best editing happens within 2 minutes. Okay, alright. We'll watch the Mega Ninja Bees, but we're only gonna watch the Mega Ninja Bees part. Okay?
Cause vitriolic relations between people. Take a look-see.
Do you want to watch the Mega Ninja Bees with me? Yeah, that was a college education. And some of my greatest memories. Huh? Bye. I get it, because it's a bee.
They are like ghosts.
Ah. There we go.
If you like what I'm doing here, feel free to check.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Mega Ninja Bees was great. I borrowed that costume from the costume department, actually. And then I had to return it afterwards. So I do not have the Mega Ninja Bee costume anymore, unfortunately. I would love to bust it out again, but I got to use it twice for 2 different things. One for an episode of Side Quest end credits, and then the other one for, obviously, what you just saw here. The MAGA Ninjas was a concept I came up with late in the game when it came to the Trump election. And it was essentially just MAGA. The MAGAs were the Trump voters that got blamed for literally every and any sort of affliction towards non-MAGA voters at all. So you get weird stories of people who, in the MAGA Ninja Beast case, it was a woman who'd woken up one day to have a whole bunch of freaking pollen on her car, and she mistaken it for a hate crime, as in like, oh, the racist MAGAs, they painted my car white to threaten me and make me feel like bad about myself and whatnot, ever. But I didn't get nearly as much out of it as I wanted, unfortunately. It was unfortunate. I got maybe 2 episodes out of it. Oh gosh. And they were both golden nuggets. So, here is the Mega Ninja Bees. That's why I bought the hat in the first place, just for this
Reality.
loveliness.
Until now. Introduce
Oh wait, hang on.
symbol of racism. Such an epidemic, but one that has been relegated to the shadows. A silent war, a struggle largely unacknowledged by the populace, for the most part uncorroborated by the events of our reality. Until now. Introducing the League of the Elusive MAGA Hat Ninjas, an elite squad of the heckin' sneakiest bastards who have ever made their mark on the world in the last 2+ years or so. More often than not, the MAGA Ninjas are damn near impossible to spot in a crowd. They go about their business, unseen, unheard, invisible to not only the naked eye, but also surveillance cameras. No trace of them left after the fact whatsoever, invisible to all. Save for their unfortunate victims, who usually can't manage to recall the MAGA Ninjas until after they've been victimized, of course. The MAGA Ninjas themselves are responsible for upwards of 16 separate incidences ranging back to November 2016, after a fateful November 8th in 2016, when the United States presidential election had been decided in favor of Donald J. Trump, the head of the elephant, chief MAGA Ninja, and founder of the League.
Okay, I can't find the original MAGA Ninja video. Where is the other one? Oh my god. I mean, I have a copy of it. I just... Where is it? Where is the other ninjas? Is it more in this video? This is actually irritating me. Well, now that oh my gosh, now that I've like talked about it, we need to showcase it. All right, so let me go find it. I know I have it. I know that I have it. It's just I didn't have it prepared. unfortunately. So, I have it in, I think, outtakes. Outtakes. Brand assets, outtakes. The Mega Ninja Bees. Okay. No, that's the Mega Ninja Bees. Where's... Ah! Okay, I got it. Alright. Alright, hang on. Add Mediasaurus. It's just gonna be Mediasaurus. And it will be browse. It is in outtakes. I don't remember which video this was a part of. It had to be before this specific one, right? I would I want to bring that back. Honestly, that was some top tier ace quality content there, my dudes. It was a good old time. It was a good old time. Oh, muy bueno. Okay. The 14-point plan to save the white race, and then Grid Girls. So, we're gonna watch it at extra speed, though, and then Grid Girls.
No. On your journey of... Before we get any further into this video, I'm going to make a disclaimer. I will not be joining you on your journey of ethno-tenacity. Gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, you wouldn't want me though, honestly. I'm a filthy, fat, trap, cave beast, libtard, cold learning thought Becky, according to the internet. I've been told. It really depends on the week, though. My identifiers are honestly up in the air at this point. I really should be having some sort of identity crisis by now with the amount of things that I am according to the internet. I won't lie, though. It's really of little consequence to me and the people I know in real life. And there we go. But you're not here for my wit and banter, are you? You're here to be educated. I know something you don't.
We will refer to this forever as Weebo at cocaine speed. Grace Jacobson, I love that. Alright, we're keeping it.
Supposedly. Something that could help you in your quest to save the white race. And I'll tell you, me and the boys, we've been discussing the matter extensively, just because we were curious, and we spent a good portion of one of my lovely, lovely cringe-reading streams cooking up some truly spicy hot takes. Guidelines, if you will, looking hypothetically at how you could possibly save the white race since, you know, the ethno-state is a little out there. Like, way out there. Unless, of course, you want a full-blown race war. Do you? Let me just remind you, a race war means death. And the death of a white male means, of course, that you have less eligible white males to service the white gene pool. And we all know what happens to your offspring when you keep it in the family, eh? Am I right, incestuous European monarchy? So, let's get to it. What is it going to take to get the white race back to its former glory of, the Black Death, xylospongium, rubbing your teeth with powdered fish bones and then rinsing with a mixture of vinegar and sulfuric acid? The literal Dark Ages? I digress.
So this video was actually an attempt to troll the influx of viewers that were a little too edgy boy for me from the Worski Live debate, I'm pretty sure. That is the impetus behind this video. It was just kind of turn them off to the channel and get them to unsubscribe, because I really didn't want that kind of negativity. Because I did start getting some more negative-esque geared comments after that live debate, because I had an influx of those kind of characters, and I didn't really want to bask in that kind of negativity, if you can believe it. And so this video was born. Yeah.
In the boys, we have come up with a list of 14 implementations, strict implementations, mind you, that if you take care to follow religiously, should absolutely protect the longevity of the white race for the rest of all perceived time. And yes, it has something for everyone in it. Something for the alt-righters, the feminists, the eugenicists, the incels, the vegans, the meat-eaters, the traditionalists, the sexually liberated people, the homosexuals, the Scottish, yes, the Scottish, the sexual educators of the world, and so many more people. So many more. It's crazy. Without further ado, though, let's get to Weebo's 14-point plan on saving the white race. Number one should be an obvious point. If you want to save the white race, it is within your genetic line's best interests to fornicate like jackrabbits with anything and everything that moves. No need to ask if said partner has any STDs. No need to determine if said woman-folk or man-folk is at all genetically adept enough for your gene pool. No need to determine if she picks her nose and if he has a steady job. There is too much at stake here for that kind of nonsense. There's no time to be discriminatory about who it is you're having sex with, guys. The only thing you need are a plethora of dicks and vagines getting it on like this. Yep.
True story. That is how you have sex.
That's how you do the sex. It's the only way to save the white race. That means you'll have to procreate with trad thoughts and regular white girls and southern belles alike. But it's a small, small, small price to pay for saving the white race. And that's what you want, right? Number two, this is a little bit less obvious, as for some reason in society in the current year, it has become unpopular for men to don free-flowing dress-appearing garments for fear of being seen as feminine. Brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you today that a man wearing a skirt is not just acceptable, but it should be mandated by the government in order to assist in the procreation of the white race. Any race, really, for that matter, this could go for, but the point is that the...
No, Assassin of the Grey, you don't see any flaws in this plan. This is a flawless plan.
Scots have it correct, my dear people. Pants cause infertility.
I stand by that statement.
The gentleman down under, you know who I'm talking about, must be allowed the opportunity to breathe in order to produce semen effectively. Treat your loins like that enthusiastic iron pumper does his armpits at the gym. You must free the gonads.
Flawless logic here, alright? Science. This is science, people. The science is spoken. Don't question the science.
Should make that into a Twitter hashtag. It makes so much sense, anatomically speaking, yet you would seek to impose this
Pants cause infertility.
Modernist chastity belt. I think not.
I need to put that on a t-shirt as well.
There will be no pantaloons in the authoritarian ethno-perseverance protocol. Of that you can be certain. As you very well know, gentlemen, or at least I hope that you know, there cannot be any baby-making in any other hole other than the vagine. This is science. Thusly, it is only right that we strictly prohibit sodomy of any form. Those precious baby-making juices must be serviced towards the vagine. Yes, that means no more anal, but it also means that oral is out of the picture too. I'm sorry to say, sodomy has a double-pronged meaning if you didn't know, and if you catch my drift. And hence,
there will be no blowjobs in the ethno-state.
This point means, irrefutably, that we can have no more of this public bathroom quickie blowjob nonsense for anyone, at any time. It's not the way. I'm sorry, but if you're going to save the white race, sacrifices must be made, and this is just the first of many that you will make. I don't make the rules. I'm very well aware that periods are icky, and the less that you gentlemen know about them, the better. Supposedly, it is a hard fact of life that if you intend to impregnate a woman, you must do it right, during a particular moment in her cycle. This is why we must insist upon mandatory reproductive training for all males, as well as females. And by the time that this reproductive training has finished, you will know, gentlemen, in intimate, gruesome detail the difference between cervical fluids, arousal fluids, and discharge ad nauseum. Emphasis on the nauseum.
This was about the only sincere point that I think I made in this entire video, aside from the kilts one. This one and that one, I stand behind.
This is exactly as it sounds. All eligible men and women who can procreate will be known as breeders, and hence, having thoroughly dehumanized the lot of the breeders, the next part in this point will absolutely not violate any human rights laws. Imagine a giant room lined with flat slabs, and upon each slab a naked female breeder. In from another door come a line of naked males to do their business, and then that particular batch of breeders moves on to the rehydration chamber after they've finished, while the next batch of male breeders comes in to take their places. It's that simple. And the reverse can also be achieved gender-wise with the top sperm producers in the demographic, because we believe in equality here. It is absolutely not a violation of any human rights tribunal thingies if we keep all eligible males and female human beings naked in several dark rooms for singularly breeding purposes to further the agenda. I can personally assure and vouch for this system. It is a non-issue. We just won't tell the UN, just in case, or a counter for that. We'll pretend it's for the glory of Islam. Either way, we're good. Cell phones, radios, microwaves, televisions, all of that shit can cause infertility, obviously, don't you know? Thusly, it is banned. That means no more cell phones, guys. You can never call anyone again. Say goodbye to your poor...
Ben, so, 9 minutes ago, I introduced this video as the 14-point plan to save the white race. It's a troll video. And it's probably one of my funniest videos that I've ever produced, which says, I don't know, whatever it wants that you, whatever you wanted to say about my content. But essentially the troll video was an effort to dissuade the Richard Spencer, I think someone put it as Richard Spencer Nuthuggers, from continuing their subscription to my channel after the Worski Live debate.
Portable memes. Radios? Not a loss. No one really listens to the radio anymore anyway. And then we have microwaves. Oh no, whatever will the thoughts and insults do for their meals? See, this is why we offer culinary arts in high school kids. Worth a semester checking out. Advice from Weebs for the real world. Television. You will never watch porn or anime ever again.
Rough!
Like I said, sacrifices must be made in the name of saving the white race. It's just the way things have to be. There is one reason for this, and one reason alone. We need only the female video game avatars, especially the over-sexualized ones, to trigger that toxic masculinity hormone that makes the males relentlessly horny without a second thought. And horny men make babies. This is science. The sexist video games will act as just enough of a catalyst that the men will have no choice but to enter the assembly lines to satiate their blue balls. Especially considering what happens in the next point, number 8. Yes, I know, it's a right shame. We're going to have to ban porn. I'm sorry, but it is the only way. You have to understand, we can't have the males jumping the gun prematurely. We need them to procreate, and their jiggle juice does little good when directed at hentai and German porn as opposed to a woman. It must be directed at a literal female in order to save the white race. It is the only way. Any food that is not specifically an aphrodisiac has no purpose other than to be a distraction to humans. It will be mandated that you are only allowed to eat foods that are traditionally associated with an increase in libido. Yes, that means that you can eat chocolate, strawberries, figs, and pomegranates, but
I'm okay with this.
You should also prepare yourself, kids, because also on that list is asparagus, so prepare for your piss to smell downright nasty, but also hot chilies, salmon, and oysters. Oh, and
I forgot
you'll never eat red meat or pork again, so sucks to suck, boys. Bananas will also not be included on this list, but for reasons that will be explained shortly. Need I say more? It's soy. We're trying to procreate here, and soy doesn't facilitate that. Next point. The robot sex dolls, the dildos, the vibrators, the butt plugs, you know, the obvious thingies, but also anything that can be used as a sex toy substitute for a vagine or a peen.
So there go your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and socks. Those are out. Curling irons, bananas,
Oh,
also
God,
out.
that's right.
Anything that you can stick into or stick yourself into is thusly banned. Mas. Nada.
There go your
Yeah.
couches.
Zilch.
Womp womp.
Honestly, I don't enjoy being a killjoy. I really don't. Yes,
Yes, I do.
But let's be honest, monogamy, traditional marriage, doesn't cut it when it comes to procreation. And traditional marriage is simply an inhibitor of the liberations of a man's procreating abilities. One man can get hundreds of women pregnant in his lifetime, so it's silly to pretend that regulating yourself to one woman at a time is going to aid in your quest to save the white race, kids. It's common sense.
God damn,
What
this
do you do in
video.
a society utterly devoted to procreation with those members in it incapable of fulfilling such a singular purpose? Why, you make them slaves, of course. It's so...
Race, I can show you a few images that would explain exactly what the peanut butter nonsense is all about. We can talk later.
simple, so elegant. A solution for those in the final stages of their lives. A final solution, if you will. Yes. And finally, this seems rather redundant as I've already banned your porn and your sex toys, but where there's a will, there's a way, my dudes. And yes,
True.
that means that we have to take away your right to wank yourself as well. I mean, I know. I'm not happy about it either. I'd much rather you have the ability to jerk yourself off into the sunset. You deserve it, fam. It's just, your dingling is more useful to the Ubermensch and the white race in a woman than it ever will be in your hand. Sorry to say. And that, my dear viewers, is how you save the white race. Throw out the beloved Constitution. Your body is no longer yours. You are a slave to the clause now. There is no turning back. Your purpose is to either fulfill or be fulfilled. And nothing more. Breed,
To
and then breed
fulfill
some
or
more.
be
Because
fulfilled.
the crazy train ain't stopping until you meet your goal. Is the only way.
You don't know the way.
If you like what I do on my channel, please consider checking out the...
Okay, alright, so that brings us to 8:58. We will close out with the Grid Girls. Give me 1 sec to bring that back up. I lost it. It went away. It went bye-bye. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It just does. It happens. That's a 25-minute video. We're not sticking around for the whole thing. But we can... I guess we can poke around. I have to find the window capture thing and reprogram it to be that. There we go.
movement today. By the way, I apologize if I sound congested at all. I've been sick all week with the if and back to school, so I'm going to do a completely different video about a completely different topic. But this topic, this issue, this discussion, it kept me up until 3 a.m. on a school night, reading bullshit tweet after bullshit tweet. That was a sign that I had to make a video on it. When it comes to the objectification of women, what might seem harmless is in fact very dangerous.
Super
Interesting
dangerous.
you say that, Vicky, but we'll get back to that later. First it was darts. Now Formula 1 has become the latest sport to announce that it will stop using grid girls at their events. Boxing, however, will not be following suit, and we will continue to see ring card girls at boxing events. First things
Merciful
first, how
heavens,
are we
thank
defining
God.
grid girls? They are usually young, women who stand on podiums or hold scorecards while, more often than not, wearing reasonably little. Not entirely true. I'm sure you've been following the debate online yourself as well. You'll notice that grid girl attire, based on the many attire that grid girls on Twitter have provided us with over the years, can come in all different shapes and sizes, much like humans. So, at best, what you're saying is a misrepresentation, and at worst, it falls somewhere within the hierarchy of the cardinal original sin in terms of, since we're talking about objectification, it's only fair that I play the objectification is sexist against women, get fucked card, and oh boy, is it a doozy. But that said, the decision to do away.
Oh my god, I did used to do that, didn't I? Also. I feel like this video could have just been over after all, it's every woman's prerogative to wear as many or as few clothes as she likes and climb atop any podium she comes across. End article. That's it. That's all. No more. Stop. Cease. Not.
Away with grid girls in particularly male-dominated sports is significant. I gotta ask, can we even consider Formula 1 to be a sport in the traditional sense? Even, I mean, you're driving.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where she fucked up. Because the amount of comments that I got in the comment section decrying me for saying that Formula 1 is not a... Oh well. Yeah, no, people did not like that I took away the classification of sport from Formula 1. They thought I was being insulting. I'm pretty sure. From what I remember. It's been a minute. But I bet if I went into the comment sections and looked, that would be the case.
It's more of a hobby than a sport, like how Taekwondo is more of an art than a sport, martial art than a sport. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I don't mean to be like a dick, but it is something that I wondered while I was reading through this article. It's in essence the real issue here that I care about, in fact. Guys, help me out. Car racing in particular is a bloke's sport. Yes, nothing necessarily wrong with that. Much like how volleyball is a women's sport. Oh, don't you know? There are approximately 334 D1 women's volleyball teams, as opposed to an abysmal 22 D1 men's volleyball teams. No one's really crying about underrepresentation within that area of sports, are they? I wonder why. Anyway, you were saying something about something being a sport related to one specific gender, being a problem, or what have you, shenanigans. Men drive the cars, women present awards, look nice, and stand around the winners, almost as prizes in their own right. Grid girls have been used to promote the sport and as representation of what might be available to any male competitor who succeeds at it. Is that what you think men have deluded themselves to think, Vicky?
Alright, we're amping it up from cocaine speed to speed. Are you ready for this chat? Go.
Is that honestly why you think men race? Because they get the women's? Because they can claim the JJ rights? Because sexy factor? Is that why men race? Is that what you think it's all about? Get the fuck out of here with your mind-reading generalization bullshit. You think it's all about sex? Let me tell you from the perspective of someone who has been raised by a man who loves racing, and who is dating a gearhead. It's not about sexual appeal. No. Have you ever been behind the wheel of a fast car? Have you been around the sweet, sweet smell of burning rubber, revved an engine that vibrated you to your core, gotten off of or out of a motor vehicle and had that feeling that your limbs were still tingly, not just because of the constant vibrations, but because you felt exhilarated and alive? You've just gone floor to gratifying. It's a freedom, essentially, from whatever internal limits or life limits that you have. Because in that moment, maybe on a speedway, you're not thinking about...
Is meth speed?
You're not thinking about...
I don't know these
bills
things.
Or
I have never done one drug in my life.
Doctor's appointments. You're not thinking about IRL stuff. What you're thinking about is, well, in some cases life and death, but in other cases just the speed that you're going at and trying to get in front of the other guy. And if you think that that's all about women, you got nothing coming to you, honey.
So I do sprint car races every year with my family, and we definitely have something similar to the Grid Girl experience, except it's like, I actually don't know what they're called, but they're the eye candy for the racers, because, let's be quite frank, not all racers look great. I believe Donnie Schatz is actually a balding middle-aged man, and he was the sprint car national champion a couple years ago. I can't remember how many, but not the last time, but the time before when I went, he was a national champion, and he's not exactly eye candy, is what I'm getting at. I mean, no offense, but it's true. The Grid Girls are there, or whatever you want to call them, are there to give the boys something to look at, aside the cars.
I can guarantee you that these guys don't compete for sex. They do it for the thrill of the race alone, most likely. My poetic bullshit aside, let's get back to the grind. This matters because it sends the message to young women that when it comes to motor racing, a woman's place is on the sidelines, in a supporting role, and not the starting line. Does it? Does it really say that? Isn't the perception of young women supposed to be that they are just as capable and strong and independent as men are? Isn't insinuating that the entire outlook on a woman's life purpose is contingent upon her seeing another woman looking glamorous on a speedway rather than seeing, I don't know, say this? Just so we're clear, that little round thing there inside the car? That's a human helmet, to be specific? I know you can only see the top part of the helmet, but that's okay. Bear with me, I'm making a point. This androgynous-looking little nubbin poking its smooth crest out of the top of a car, going at approximately 100 miles per hour, that's going to send a woman a message that disempowers women? What? If that's the case, then women have bigger issues than Grid Girls, my dear. In 2015 Formula 1 driver Lewis Hamilton was widely criticized after he sprayed champagne in the face of one of the podium girls, waiting for him at the finish line as he celebrated winning the Chinese Grand Prix. Is that much more different than when a team pours Gatorade over their coach? I mean, at least with champagne, it's a little bit more classy, I assume, also less sticky. The picture made uncomfortable viewing. The Grid Girl in question stayed still and composed while Hamilton stood in close proximity as he sprayed champagne directly into her face. The unnamed woman looks deeply uncomfortable but remains standing in position while Hamilton carries on. Whether or not she wanted him to stop, we may never know, but the image of a high-profile, celebrated man acting in such a way sent a message to young women and men that this sort of behavior was acceptable. Well, I mean, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the fucking kitchen, hot diggity. As I just said, coaches have this happen to them all the time in sports. And no one bats an eye when they do it to coaches, honestly, but the moment they do it to the women's, holy hell, it's like you've committed mass rape. And non sequitur of the author aside, let's talk about your bullshit. How that model didn't actually have a problem getting sprayed in the face for a second. Quote, Shanghai F1 grid girl says she didn't think too much about being sprayed with champagne by Lewis Hamilton. It lasted for 1 or 2 seconds and I didn't think too much about it, Leo said. I think some foreign media are more sensitive about the topic compared to local media, Leo said. I was just told by my employer to stand on the podium and that's what I did. Vicky, are you women-splaining another woman's lived experience?
Yeah, she was. She indeed was. Anyway, okay, so we're like halfway through. You guys can go watch it on your own if you want to, but it's almost past Weebo's bedtime, unfortunately, and she's got to work tomorrow. Last day of the week, though, so we're excited. But I wanted to thank you guys. Oh, hang on. Oh. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out tonight to be with me as I celebrated my 6th YouTube anniversary. I know it's not, you know, it means a lot to me. It's my anniversary. It's 6 years since I started this channel, and a lot has happened. A lot of highs, a lot of lows have happened in those 6 years, and I hope that for the next 6 years I can continue to bring you as many laughs and as much joy as this has brought me in my time here. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It is something that I am still passionate about. Just definitely don't have nearly as much time to commit to. But I definitely will endeavor to continue to embrace and engage in that conversation, that engagement with you, my audience, because I'm having a freaking blast, man. Some of the best moments in my life had been sitting, not in this chair, but sitting in this seat, as it were, in front of you, hanging out, and having a gas freaking time. I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you appreciate me. So, without further ado, I'm gonna call it a night. I'll see you later. Yeah. Valentine's Day is the next time that I plan to have a video out, so keep a lookout for the Valentine's Day video. That'll be Monday, February 14th, 2022. I don't have a time yet, but that's the goals. Other than that, Side Quest returns next week, and Sunday we have cocktail hour. So, be here or be square. See you next. Have a good week, everybody. Bye!